Now people should be able to hear me, and hopefully people can hear Corey as well. Hi everyone. No, they still can't hear Corey. They still can't hear Corey. Um, hopefully now everyone can hear Corey.
Wow, I don't even know what anybody's heard.
There we go. Well, they've heard nothing from you.
Yeah,
They've heard a little bit from me.
yeah, correcting me
Oh,
that they
now
didn't
I'm.
hear.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Thursday night, SuperCars NZ, MRP HPR series, coming to you live from Virginia International Raceway. Round 11. He's getting up the spicy end of the season, boys. And alongside me, Shane White, who you've already heard. Doug might be here. Wayne is here. And we're gridded up. So we fire through the grid.
Yeah, we can get some grid standings up there. Oh, look at that. We've even got GTP showing next to the grid. I've managed to get that up. I've been trying to work out how to separate the classes there on the grid. So we've got Stephen McCartan on pole for GTP from Aaron Goodrick. Jack Hintz sitting in third from Michael Vanderhaas. Kristen Jenkins fifth, Dan Turner sixth, and Thomas McCall is going to round out quite a small GTP field tonight. And then hopefully I can. That's why that's not working. Let's try this. There we go. Let's bring that
So
on one
Darren Lobb,
more.
has he got off Dylan Petch and Darren Lobb off the front row? Or Nico Cordia and Quinn Wilson, Sean McNamara and Roger Forbert. We got Leith Swinney and Matt Priest, that's a new name. Daniel Scholes, Jason Bigby, Steve Darren, Adam Hughes, Bill Kilgore, Shane McLeod, John Murrell, that's another new name, and Paul Blomquist. Looks like he didn't qualify, so he's just rocking off the back of the grid. And we've got Alan Scott sitting in the pits, maybe.
I think Alan might have bailed on tonight. Just joined for practice and wasn't setting the best lap time, so I think just didn't want to get in anybody's way, so he called it a night. Cars are sitting on the grid there. They are going to roll off behind the pace truck in about 5 seconds or so now.
Didn't we efficiently get through that grid?
We did, we really did. Great stuff. So Doug is going to be joining us momentarily. He has had to step away briefly, but he will be back, so that's good news. Alright, so they roll off behind the pace truck. Stephen McCartan and Aaron Goodrick leading the GTP field away. GT3's leaving a nice little gap to make sure that they have time to react to any incidents that may take place in the GTP field. Would you believe it, Corey? I haven't loaded any cameras tonight.
Oh, wow. Everything was going so well.
It was. I've just thought of that. Well, not so well because I didn't have the sound set up correctly at the start either. But a couple of oversights from me, so that's my bad. But anyway,
We're
the
away.
GTP cars
Yeah,
are just coming down now. Stephen McCartan has
cruising.
control.
Someone's going to go.
Yep, Stefan's launched and gets a good gap. Aaron able to slot in behind, although Jack Hunt's just having a look up the inside into turn one, and he's able to get that done, and we can jump back to see the GTP field coming through, and Dylan Petch still leading from pole. Darren Lobb trying to go around the outside. There's a bit of contact, and Nico Cordia is going to be able to get by Darren to jump into P2, but Darren fighting back on the inside through turn two.
Yeah, series of left-handers here. And Nico looking to try and get us.
Oh, there's a
touch.
touch!
Who was that? Was it
Quinn Wilson.
That corrected themselves.
Tricky little spot there. Probably just one of those lap one sort of lap one incidents going on there. We can have a look back at the front. Stephen McCartan's already put out a little bit of a gap. Jack Hunt sitting in second. He managed to get by Aaron Goodrick at turn 1, and Aaron is looking to fight back, see if he can get that position back as early as possible. Good draft down the back straight here past the alternative pit lane. Up over the crest, and then this is a tricky spot to try and do a pass, and Aaron just backed out of it in the end. Really tricky corner there where you turn to the left while trying to slow it down for that right-hander. And then weaving down the hill here in towards the final corner.
I just got a message through from Cheryl saying there was a 3% chance of rain at some point, but it looks to have dwindled away, so I think Cheryl's just had too many Wednesdays and lost her ways, unfortunately. Looking like a dry one anyway.
Is good.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thanks, Wayne. So, just as you were talking about Cheryl there, Corey, Aaron Goodrick ran a little bit wide at the final corner and dropped back behind Kristen Jenkins. Stefan still leading in GTP. Darren Lobb and Nico Cordy having a good battle here in GT3. Sorry, Darren Lobb and Dylan Petch having a good battle here in GT3. So Dylan currently leading, starting on pole. No change in about the top 10 in GT3, so they've all kept it relatively sensible early on, but
that's something that I just noticed and was looking forward to bringing up. Dan Turner down to Corbett, no change, so that, and that's the last couple of PGPs as well included in that.
Yeah,
no change at the very front either. Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of big movers. Paul Bloomquist is up 7 spots, and currently in a bit of a pack of cars with Matt Priest, I was going to say Maxie Priest there almost. Daniel Sculls, Paul Bloomquist, and Jason Beebe's closest to each other.
Yes, it looked like Paul didn't put a time down in qualifying, so starting off the bat, we'll see if he can make it through to the front, and doing a good job initially off the start, up 7 spots like you said, Corey, and closing in on this next little battle group. But meanwhile, Aaron Goodrick is trying to recover from his mistake at the end of lap 1, and he is all over the back of Kristen Jenkins. He's going to have half a look down the inside. Wasn't able to get there, but certainly threatening at the moment.
Quinn Wilson and Nico
Yeah, so Nico currently sitting third in the GT3 class, so on track for a podium, but Quinn is really going to make him work for it, and of course they're both probably going to be thinking about that guy Paul Blomqvist making his way through from the back.
Yeah, try and get as far forward as you can.
Didn't quite catch that one. Okay. See if there's anything I can do about that on my end.
Probably just drop Discord.
I mean, I can certainly give you 480p to look at if that helps.
Well, yeah, gives us who you're looking at anyway, yeah.
Yep.
A bit of prompting, can't read anything.
Well, you've got your live timing on the side there, don't you, Corey?
I've got the live timing up, yeah.
And thanks to Dano's Sim support, you've got that set up working properly now too.
Yeah, everything's running through to SDK nicely. I need to get in with a big field again to make sure it's working completely. But
oh no!
Oh,
that was an instant commentator's curse. Right as I clicked on his name, seeing that he was in a tight battle, he shot off hard into the tyres. That was huge. We can get a replay of that. What's happened there? So he's in behind Steve Darren. just lost the rear. That was really weird, but one of those things I think where that once that rear does step out, the traction control kicks in and just stalls it out and doesn't allow you to bring it back, and I think that's what's happened to Bill there, and it's just shot him hard left into the tyres. That was really unfortunate.
Meanwhile, in the GTPs, Aaron Goodrick still having a wee battle here with Christian Jenkins, Team West Racing, but being the only one that's not out west, but he's in bookie. Had a wee look there on the inside.
Yeah, he climbed right up on the curb to make sure there wasn't contact. A little bit awkward, but they kept it clean.
Yeah, of course, there's we got a couple of heat races tonight. We got a 22-minute race.
Yep, 22 first up. You're probably better placed to tell us what the second race is.
I am. I'm just looking now.
Oh, well, I should know these things considering I loaded the race, but I did load them all at the start of the season, and we're 11 weeks in now, so...
Yeah, 22-minute race and a 33-minute feature.
There we go.
But current track temperature is 26, so should be fairly gripped up. But a maximum of 17 incident points, so any off tracks, any contact, you're going to get an incident point, and 17's going to get them a drive through.
We can see the weather stats on the side of the screen as well, as Aaron has another look at an awkward place and just caught the grass and ended up looping it as well, actually, and that is really going to hurt him as he drops back behind Michael van der Haas, and potentially Dan Turner might be able to capitalise on that as well. Now, looks like Aaron's up to speed, or should be back up to speed pretty shortly, and Dan's still a little way back from him at the moment, so Aaron should slot into P5 there, but not ideal for him having that little moment.
A bit of a action heating up mid-pack. Daniel Scholes, Paul Bloomquist, Matt Priest, all contesting positions. All trying to, well, 3 more cars for Paul Bloomquist to try and get past to get a little bit closer to the front.
Alright boys, have fun. I'll leave you to it.
Cheers, Wayne.
Cheers, mate.
See you, mate. Good on
So-
this at the right one.
Matt going side by side with Roger Forbird at the moment. Getting the nose ahead before the braking zone. They're going to go side by side though, and Roger able to hold on. Paul's been able to get around Jason Bigby on the run down the straight there, and now he's putting all the pressure on Daniel Scholes is ahead of him.
Yes, they come around to cross for what will be the 6th lap now they'll be on. How long we got left there? Is it about 10 minutes, something like that?
Looking like about 13 or 12 and a half minutes.
Yeah, this is bunching up now. Get Jason Bigby on the back. We'll see. Paul Bloomquist has got past Daniel Scholes. Matt having another look up the inside here of Roger. Might open the door for Roger to lose another spot here. Oh, getting lucky, Shane.
Yeah, coming up into the roller coaster section now. This is such a tricky section of S-bends up and over the crests and all over the place. No passing opportunities through here, but if he can stay close enough, there should be half chance just before Oak Tree. Not going to do it there. Might look to line it up. Looking to get the better exit out of Oak Tree and tuck into the draft, and he will see if he can get side by side before the braking zone down the end of the straight.
He's going to have a run. A GTP car coming up on him as well.
Yeah, Stephen McCartan just making his way through, race leader, lapping these guys for the first time.
Yeah, so it took 6 laps for the GTP to get up on him. So
Oh! That was a little bit tight.
yeah. I think settling down here a little bit. We'll wait for Paul to get on attack and try and get this pass done at the end here. But it's rough.
Yes, so down into turn 1, going to the outside. Can he go around? Well, he's got it done before the corner. I think Matt just recognised that Paul had a bit of pace on him and just got out of it and let him go there, I think.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad guy to sit in behind and learn some lines. Bit on that bang on the back. Decides to design a rig as we see Paul Blinkquist come into pit lane.
Quinn Wilson, and that's not pit lane, that's the alternative pit lane. And he's just decided to drive down there, I think, to stop Sean drafting off him.
That would be exceeding track limits, wouldn't it?
I don't know. Do you pick up an off track out there? I'm not sure you do.
Yeah, well, I don't know actually. Definitely no slowdown. We've got a few meatballs showing up for me. Yeah, we've had a bit of action go on. We've got Daniel Scholes, Ride-Off Jenkins, Jack Hins and Jason Bigby all with meatball flags.
So I've certainly got data on Daniel and Kristen jump into the pits. Jack Hintz going off track. Daniel going off track. I think there's been, yeah, there might have been an issue with, let's see if we can pick up, this is Kristen Jenkins going off track. See if we can pick up anything here. Certainly a big battle back. Jack Hintz making his way through. There's a touch there. And then, oh.
Yeah, we got a few cars off there. That's a bit of a catastrophe for somebody to look at another point.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll just see if we can pick up a chopper cam that might give us a slightly better view of exactly what went on there. Actually, let's go focusing on Jack Hintz. He was certainly where this started, so he's on the outside there. Oh, the GT3 car just understeers into him, and then as he tries to go left to get around the spinning Jack Hintz, that's where Kristen Jenkins happens to be, and then I think it was Bill Kilgour, who I think was already, was it Jason Bigby? They've got the same paint on their car. Sorry, so Jason Bigby just getting involved there as well. I think clipping Jack Hintz on the way through, so plenty going on in a short space of time here, and that's the challenging thing with the multi-class racing is you can trip over each other, and if you're trying to work your way through a big pack of GT3 cars while you're in your own battle, it can really set off quite a chain reaction when you do trip over another car.
Yeah, well, I heard Stefan talking earlier in the race channel about that certain line in the wet. There's only one line through that corner, and when you've got faster and slower class cars and you're in an area of track where there's not enough room, and everybody's sort of bottleneck, a bit like the motorway.
Yeah, that's right.
So this must be Quinn Wilson. I can't read anything on the screen. I'm doing my best.
Yes, this is Quinn Wilson that we're following. Sorry, I just had muted my mic briefly there and realised that I was trying to talk without turning it back on, which doesn't really help.
That does get a little bit difficult sometimes. I'd be time to pull Sean in and make him do a hot lap. Make him work for us Thursday. Where are they on track? He's He's nearly completed a lap.
Unfortunately, I might just have to kill the Discord stream altogether, Corey, because the stream is still looking a little bit jumpy. So I'll stop that and see if that improves things. This must be Douglas making his triumphant return.
Yes, I've made it back. Have I missed much?
Oh, you've missed all sorts. You missed a big moment involving your mate Jack Hintz and who else was involved? You caught the tail end of that.
Yep.
You missed some action at the start of the race with some passing going on. You missed Aaron Goodrick having a little bit of a spin that's put him back, but he's still actually running P3. He's back up to P3 and continuing the recovery drive. I think taking advantage of that incident that Jack was involved in.
Yep. You can see him there right on the hard back corner of Michael van der Haas there.
Absolutely. So he's keen to get back into second position, and looks like it might not be too long until he gets there. Of course, not too long left to do it. 5 minutes remaining in this short heat race first up.
Yeah, Sean McNamara has been Bloomquist. He's up 11 spots into 12th overall and looks to be 5th in class. 6th?
Yeah, I'd say Sean there. Yep, sitting 6th in class. That's right. He's putting a lot of pressure onto the back of Paul Blomqvist, as you said.
No, Paul's just got round Sean. He hasn't given up. He wants to plough him.
So I can go back and have a look at what happened with Paul getting by Sean. On the chopper cam there, we'll jump down to the TV camera, and oh, it's a brave place to go side by side, but Paul and Sean giving each other respect and making it work. Still staying side by side with the GTP car in behind it, and Sean eventually slotting in there and having to concede that position.
Wow.
Oh, he didn't concede it altogether, though, did he? He had a look at getting it back there, but not quite able to make it work around the outside.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It looked quite, still looked pretty pointy from Sean there, that he was wanting to keep that battle happening. It's good to see that, even though he despises these cars and often struggles with an amount of understeer, that he's still giving it a red hot go.
It sure is. As is Aaron Goodrick, who still hasn't been able to find a way past Michael van der Haas, but we're sitting on the nose here, and this should give us a very good view of this battle.
Just coming up on a GT3 who slowed up at the mid-corner there.
Oh, and unfortunately getting caught out. That one was Dan Turner, obviously, just found himself running a wide with that. But yeah, Michael's definitely putting the pressure to the ground on this one, and just keeping that gap away from Aaron. Aaron will be best to just try and keep everything nice and smooth and tight coming through these S's. Do anything more or less than what he needs to do. One thing might to close up around what would be an oak tree and try and get a good run for a draft on the back.
Yeah, so this would be a good spot if I loaded some cameras to potentially jump on a drone and watch this battle from, but someone didn't load any cameras tonight, so we can't do that. There is always next week, isn't there?
And when he refers to someone, folks, he is just talking about himself, because I managed to load them on my end.
Absolutely talking about myself, just completely blanked on it, didn't even think about it.
It's a good track for them as well. Good cameras here.
We're going to have you back Tuesday for the final round at Oran Park there, Douglas.
I will be here.
Oh, that is excellent. So we're going to bring out the end of the season with a blast in the V8s.
We will be certainly doing that one.
Final round of the HPR next week. Whereabouts is that, boys?
That one's being held at Kota, second of the Americas.
No, so we're staying in the American region. Yeah, less. So thinking about travel, so don't have to go far.
Yeah, no, don't have to unpack that bag too much.
What are we looking at?
I
This
was just
is,
watching Aaron Goodrick doing a wee bit of a slip and slide and losing the back end of the chase on Michael, but if Shane just lets us know who we're looking at here now, we'll be able to keep up with him.
yeah, so we've got Darren Lobb, still hasn't been able to find his way past Dylan Petch, and this battle for the lead in GT3 is far from settled as we wind down into the final minute. I think Stefan just going to get across the line to tick over one more lap, so he'll have the white flag now, but he may well catch Darren and Dylan on this lap for this to be their final lap as well. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. Dylan actually just stretching out a little bit more of a gap over Darren as well, so
Yeah, I think they were just turn one. Looked like Darren was trying to close the nose in it under that one. Just kept on for a second. Just shut the door on Darren Weber, so I think he was just being careful that he wasn't going to be put in a position where he was going to turn the leader, either by fortune or by mistake. Just allowing that to happen, so that's where that margin sort of crept away from him a wee bit. But he's certainly still sitting there, probably not close enough to make anything happen before the end of the race.
Paul Lindquist.
I might.
I reckon these guys are going to go another one. I
Yeah,
haven't seen Stefan get to them yet.
They might squeeze one more lap out there. If you look at the track map on the right, that blue number 1 is
Yes,
Stefan. Red number 2 is going to be Darren. So
Yeah,
I think they're just coming through the final quarter now, so they are going to get there to get one more lap.
This is where Darren gets his closest as well.
So Stefan McCartan coming around the final quarter now, and this is going to be him taking the checkered flag here. So Stefan McCartan, well done, taking the win by 30 seconds currently back to Michael van der Haas.
Wow.
That's massive. In a 22-minute race.
Yep, he certainly had leads over people over the throughout the series, and that's certainly not a number that we're not used to seeing. But like you said, in a 22-minute first up race, that's certainly showing some. He's got some mustard seeds underneath.
Absolutely. So Michael van der Haas just able to hold off Aaron Goodrick for P2. Aaron coming home on the podium, so he can be relatively pleased with that in a race that didn't start off the best for him with a spin early on.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Dylan Petch sitting at about half a second ahead of Darren at the moment as they wind their way through Oak Tree onto the back straight. Darren will look to pick up the draft. Nico Cordia not too far behind if anything unfolds between these guys.
The only one that could potentially get involved and make something be a bit unusual would be Jack Hintz, as he's just closing onto the back of them now. He may just stay out of it long enough for these guys to get across the finish line.
Yeah, and I'd say that down the end of the back straight, which is probably only a half chance anyway, but that was really probably Darren's last chance to even think about making a move as they come through the final corner now. It's going to take a spectacular exit off there for Darren to be able to get him, so Dylan Petch holds on for the win. Darren Lobb just behind in second as Jack Hintz cruises through to claim P6 in the GTP. And Nico Cordia is going to round out the GT3 podium just a couple of seconds behind that epic battle for the lead, and they will do us. Those were the last guys actually across the line, and they were the podium finishers in their class.
I see Nico there running the BMW tonight.
He is. He normally runs the Mustang, so a bit of a change there for Nico.
Yep, and of course there's no penalties or ill thoughts or feelings towards the driver for changing their vehicle. There's no rule saying that they can't. we've opted to have that in the past, and this time around we haven't. Most people have been just sticking to the cars that they've been bringing along to race with. Some people change it out week to week depending on which one's most suited for the track. I don't know whether that's as effective with the GTPs. I think they're all pretty much level as can be.
Yeah, and I think the other thing with the GTPs is they do each have their own little quirks, and I think once you figure out how to drive one, you're kind of better off being consistent with that and sticking with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're into a 5-minute warm-up session here. We can have a look back at the results from race 1. Bring those up for you there. There we go, so Stefan McCartan taking it out from Michael van der Haas, Aaron Goodrick coming home in 3rd, Dan Turner 4th, Tom McCall 5th, Jack Hunt 6th, Kristen Jenkins 7th, and rounding out the GT3 field. And then just in behind them we had Dylan Petch taking out GT3 from Darren Lobb, and Nico Cordia rounding out the podium for those guys. Paul Blomqvist there in 4th from Quinn Wilson, Sean McNamara, Roger Forbert, Matt Priest, Steve Darren, Leith Swinney, Adam Hughes, John Murrell, new driver, who I don't have any information on at the moment. Jason Bigby there in 20th. And then 21st, Daniel Scholes, Shane McLeod just behind him, Bill Kilgour, and then Alan Scott there isn't actually racing tonight. He came along for practice and didn't join the race.
Yep. There we go. Yeah, a couple of new names just before the end of the season, and getting in early registration on next season, which we've got those registration forms up at the moment on our SuperCars New Zealand community page. Find that one there, and I believe we've also
Doug.
got a link to it in the Discord.
Doug, what else could you find on the Facebook page? There's do you guys like endurance racing?
Endurance racing.
You like endurance racing, don't you?
Oh, I like a little bit from time to time. I suppose if any type of endurance racing that I really like to get in behind is some of that V8 stuff.
Oh, right. Well, there's $600 prize pool. If you turn up on the 22nd of September with a teammate, race at Sandown, and then 27th of October, go have a race at Bathurst. You could win yourself some cool prizes. And
They're two really great tracks. Who's putting that on?
So that's the Sim Blacks Endurance Cup. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Mm-hmm.
Very familiar with that one, and they are going to be some red hot endurance racing happening this year. We've already got some significant numbers signed up for that one. There's still some spots left there on the registration form, but I believe at last count we were up to about 20 or 25 teams. Is that about right?
Yeah, I think 22.
Yep.
Some of those may end up merging because there's a few that haven't nominated a teammate yet, but we'll have to see how that pans out.
Of course, it's only $15 to join for non-members, but if you sign up and for the race, then I believe you can race for the season. Is that a thing?
So free for league members. If you sign up to race in the Enduro Cup and you also sign up and pay to race in the Spring Series, then your entry into the Enduro Cup will be free.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool though. And then you get racing 3-4 nights a week competitively at Supercars NZ.
Sure do.
Got tons of stuff. Always got some racing happening. But those endurance round ones are certainly going to be some awesome ones. If you want to get a bit of a taster on what they're like, if you actually have a look at the broadcasting lounge, the channel that we're broadcasting through, you'll be able to find those ones on there, the events that we held last year for Sim Blacks at both of those same circuits at Sandown and Bathurst. So go along, have a watch of the video, see if it's something you might be keen on. Find yourself a teammate, get signed up and registered, and crack open some orange juices and come along and have a good time.
Yeah, Bob's your uncle.
Yep, and easy around.
Sounds good to me. I'll be there for both of them. I believe Wayno and myself for Bathurst and for Sandown, and me and you again for Bathurst again, Dougie.
Yep, that's us, mate.
Yeah.
And Shane's going to be doing something, I think, playing with his belly button fluff.
Yeah, he's going to be
Oh.
telling people that they're being naughty.
Yeah, and driving a little yellow and black Mustang safety car around some of the time as well.
Yes. There will be a few of those random safety car events.
We had the random safety cars last year, but we used the iRacing system. The issue with that when we're doing an event like this is it runs to American rules where the pit lane closes as soon as the safety car comes out, and then waits till the field bunches up to open the pit lane, which of course isn't accurate to the real world supercars racing, where safety car comes out, you can come and pit before you bunch up and get back on track. So we are running the manual safety car to make sure that we can make it as accurate as possible in that regard.
We're
Very
moving.
good. Yep. You like how I've put the most undraftiest drafter of the thing in front of the most draftiest cars out there?
Sure do.
You put the biggest thing in front of the littlest thing.
Yes, that's how I often like to live my life.
One quarter mile at a time, Doug.
That's winning's winning.
You know what? I actually forgot that you loaded the heat races, Doug. I was saying that I loaded all the sessions at the start of the season, but you've just reminded me that of course you loaded all the heat races because you had the format in there.
I did indeed, yep. Hence
All
why
right.
these not best nights.
If you say so. Stefan McCartan has control of the field as they roll down the front straight, waiting to take the green flag. And we are away. Stefan getting that good jump early on. Michael van der Haast looking to slot in just in front of Aaron Goodrick. Aaron going side by side with Dan Turner there.
Yeah, Aaron will be looking to have a little bit of a better race two. So of course 33 minutes, and Stefan's got away again, hasn't he? He's already opened up a gap to Van der Haas.
He sure has, and meanwhile Paul Blomqvist and Nico Cordia going side by side early on in the race. We saw Nico side by side at this stage of the first race and had a little bit of contact and went a little bit drifty, but nice and clean this time. Paul Blomqvist able to make his way into that podium position early on, and he will be looking to continue that charge and see if he can join this battle for the lead with very quick double Ds.
Yeah, so Paul started P20.
Oh, Nico running down the grass there. Jumping back up to the front of the GTP field, and Stefan has already opened up more than a 1.5 second gap. Aaron Goodrick able to keep things much cleaner at the start of this one compared to the previous one. He's held on to P2 and looking to charge on. Jack Hintz, putting the pressure on Dan Turner early and having to take to the grass there as he ran a little bit wide, but kept it together.
Yeah, Jack must be up there in the points for GTP, is he, Doug?
He is from the last account he was sitting there in about second spot.
Aaron Goodrick slowing up.
With not too much points separating between him and Aaron Goodrick there. So they're the ones that were playing between the second spot on the overall championship podium. Aaron and Jack. Yeah, we did see that. Aaron falling back behind Dan Turner, must have picked up a bit of a blowdown on one of the curbs.
The stream's buggy.
So I can't see too much on. Yep. Alright, and we're back. Hopefully that's cleaned things up. So what I was trying to get to the bottom of at the same time is what exactly happened to Aaron there. So hopefully this is going to tell us the story here. So he's side by side with Michael van der Haas. I think this is actually quite a way before we saw him slow up. And that was... Actually, this one might give us the full story. So this is... Okay, so he's just drifted wide there at turn 1, and that was just enough to allow those couple of cars to get through.
While that's been taking place, there's been some very quick exchanges for leading position at the start of the race. But I believe it's all balanced back out the way it was before. Darren getting up just alongside Dylan Petch enough just to put him into position for the moment. Dylan's managed to get him back through again.
Yeah, so this was a race-long battle in race 1 between Dylan and Darren, the double Ds. And it's continuing into this one, and pretty exciting that we've had Paul Blomqvist make his way up and is just behind these guys now in race 2, because we know just how quick and how talented Paul is. Should be very excited to see if he can get involved in what was already looking like a super exciting battle.
Barn laying down fastest lap of the race that one round.
Yes.
The 1:32.18.
Yeah, with
fastest 33.5. So a bit of a difference in pace there.
we're taking a moment to focus on Stefan briefly as well, with what's been going on, big stuff going on in the sim racing world in New Zealand at the moment. Well, today is the qualifiers for the New Zealand Esports Federation Hyperfiber Porsche Cup Series. But this guy hasn't had to do any of that because he is, through representing SuperCars NZ, we've been able to give him the very fortunate position of getting a ticket straight through to the final.
Yeah, the final being what will be four very exciting races taking place coming forward, I believe, in a couple of weeks' time, early September.
Yeah, I think it's about quite early on in our spring series. I think it's from about week 2 through to week 5 or something like that. So on that note, they're going to be running on Thursday nights, so it's going to affect our HPR series a little bit. Obviously, we're still going to have people that aren't doing that who will want to race with us, but we're going to have guys like Stefan and a number of the other top guys who are normally in championship contention that we don't want them missing out on points. So we're going to run a little separate championship within the HPR series for those 3 weeks and make sure that those guys that aren't able to race because they're doing that don't miss out on anything championship wise with us.
No, that's right.
Another driver in the field, Dan Turner,
this is
getting a ticket through as well via myself, Virtual Motorsport NZ, Sim Motorsport NZ, and Simability.
Whoa! Sorry, Corey.
Yeah, just going back to those pre-qualifying. So obviously today pre-qualifying going on 2 servers. 5th of September is the qualifying for stage 2, and then those 4 races starting from October.
There you go, awesome data.
So that got really spicy there for a moment. Just settled down a little bit now, and this is Dan Turner that Corey was just talking about, and I've actually wanted to get on him tonight because I was having a look at some of the information that the guys put through on their registration at the start of the season, and I know one of Sean's bugbears is that we don't use this information enough. And Dan put some really cool information in. So something I didn't know about him was that his day job, he runs a bespoke jewellery business by day.
Oh. I
So-
didn't know that either.
Dan Turner, the
Yep.
jeweller.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And he's been iRacing tarmac for 3 years, but longer on dirt. I guess longer means he doesn't really know how long he's been doing it overall, but that's where it all started for Team West, driving midgets and 14 sprint cars. So
Very good. Oh,
Yeah.
that'll be
Good for
an
Westies.
interesting one. Putting forward a friendly battle with some of the other boys across at Virtual Racing Aotearoa, because I know a lot of them do dirt sprint series. So we'll do a bit of a cross championship circuit race one night, dirt race the other.
Why don't we put a midget?
Thousands of teams.
Why don't we put a midget on a road course? No.
Could do.
well, Leon does plenty of road course racing. Oh, sorry, you mean a midget car? Oh, right, okay, I'm with you now.
Firing out dad jokes. Normally for us dads. Not surprised. Got a good battle going on. I guess we're still looking at Paul Bloomquist
Oh.
and Fish going live.
We sure are, and he's put a wheel in the dirt. I keep forgetting that I'm not giving you guys something to look at, so I need to remind you or let you know what I'm looking at. Paul Blomqvist at the moment. So Nico Cordy has been able to get by Paul, as well as Dylan Pitch got by as well as Paul dropped the wheel in the dirt there. So this close quarters battling, when you make a little mistake like that, drop a couple of positions and you're on the back foot, and Paul's got to close that gap up again. He's got just under a second behind Nico Cordia now, and he's got to close that up again and work his way back through these guys once more.
Yeah,
I'm
just
going to,
barely over half a second there at the moment.
I'm going to bring one of our other admin boys up into the broadcasting lounge in a moment. Once a particular GTP car gets by him.
You do it when he's under pressure, it's way more fun. But that car looks good.
Oh, I'm dragging
That's my name, that name again is Mr. Plow.
It's been an hour.
Sorry, what was that name?
That's my name, that name again is Mr. Plow.
Sorry, one more time, I still didn't quite catch that.
We've completely thrown him off. He's gone for a 2-for-2 across the grass.
Oh,
But I
no.
was going to say, Sean McMurray sitting there in 4th spot, ready to capitalise on any dramas that happen on the front of the field.
Nope, he doesn't want to talk to us.
No, he gone.
He is in a battle.
Oh, look at
Three
this,
wide.
3 wide and a GTP car.
Five.
Aaron Goodrick goes through the grass to get around them. Michael Van der Haas doesn't know where to go.
Can we see that again? That. Oh my god. That was
I
awesome.
certainly hope so.
Surely
Oh, I
that
just
should be
put
an
that
illegal
with the
pass.
I think this is going to be.
Watched it on YouTube. Oh,
We keep going onto the chopper as I go onto replays. But I think this is actually going to be a good one to watch from the chopper. So Aaron Goodrick, Michael Van der Haas is ahead of him. Where do I go? There's nowhere to go. Is there a gap? Oh, there's not really. There's not really. Aaron's just like, all right, here we go. I'll make my own track.
Welcome to SuperCars Indeed, everyone. What I want to see is can we get a view of that from Lee's when he's cockpit view?
I reckon we can probably manage that.
You're like me, Doug. You just watch that live with everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah, apologies for the the screen tonight, but technical difficulties, so no live drop with what Doug would Doug. We're just sort of playing a guessing game.
Well, I mean, from that view, you just sort of had Aaron just appearing stage left and driving on through.
Yeah, not as dramatic as what I thought it would have been.
Yeah, maybe a car that was behind a lot of them that would look, yeah.
Anyway, that was very good. Yeah, Matt Priest has had a bit of an unfortunate moment though. What have they got? Some data a bit further back. Did you see the Roger Forbert crash, mate?
I haven't seen that one.
And apparently he had to jump to the pits, and so has Bill Kilgore went off the track and then jumped to the pits as well.
So we've got Roger Forbert here. So coming down through the final section, just losing the rear through the fast corner. Finding the tyres very similar to Bill's crash in race 1, but just getting a bit further through that section before.
Well, he was lucky where he rolled back onto the track.
Certainly was.
And you see the data of Bill going off track there as well, and jumping to the pits
I have got that here, so we can.
on lap 6.
Yep, we can have a look at that. So Bill coming up towards turn 1 here. Let's Michael and Aaron go by. Wanders off into the grass and looks like he's decided he's had enough.
Okay. Right.
Absolutely no
Oh.
player for this DK tonight. Pretty happy with that.
We've got data here on Sean McNamara having a crash. Taking a trip through the grass.
Go with him by the look.
Same thing as Bill, just... I guess he would have picked up a slowdown where he cut across the grass there and probably just decided that's enough. Time to call it a night. And you mentioned Matt Priest going off track as well, so I can go back and bring that up. So Matt in the 23 Valvoline Ferrari. Oh, big tank slapper. Well off the track, finds the wall. Kind of uses the wall to point him back in the direction of the track and gets back on. Carries on.
Much.
So we just ticked over halfway through the race. Things are starting to get a little bit more spread out. Darren's been able to open up a 1.2 second gap over Dylan now. Paul Blomqvist 4.5 seconds behind now, so I think he may have run into some more trouble. He did have to find his way around Nico Cordier again, didn't he, after that little run wide moment at the Oak Tree earlier?
The old oak tree.
Yep, those of you that are only familiar with the current version of VIR are probably wondering why we're calling it the Oak Tree when there's nothing there anymore. There did used to be a big oak tree right on the apex of the corner coming onto the back straight.
Bring back the old version.
Yeah.
I mean, they had
everything you do, but you
Yeah.
took away the jump at Bathurst, and then you took away the oak tree.
It was too much too soon.
It was. They had a big tyre barrier around it, and to be fair, if you manage to find yourself over there, you've done something pretty drastically wrong anyway. So I liked having it there, and yeah, I guess safety is safety, and I think they'd actually taken it out a number of years ago on the real life version, and I raced it had taken a while getting around to doing that rescan, and it's probably the least popular rescan that they've done.
It could be one of those ones where, you know, like, maybe they could just have it as one of those like polystyrene cutout, like they have the sponsor signs.
Oh, that would be brilliant.
Are we looking at Paul Bloomquist still?
We are looking at Paul Blomqvist, currently running third.
Yeah, not as a successful race as the first, but he started with back race 1 and he's made his way through to what looks like P3 in GT3 class. So a few passes tonight for Mr. Bloomquist and those sexy wheels.
Oh, looking at Stefan McCartane sitting very lonely down there in the race channel chat by himself, wondering if he wanted to come up for a wee chat.
Well, it's pretty lonely on track at the moment as well, so I see no reason why not.
Maybe a hot lap via some GTP.
Knock knock, Stefan.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, pretty good yourself.
Not too bad. I saw that you were sitting there by your lonesome down there in the voice chat, and you're out there sort of lonesomely lapping around the track by yourself once again. So I thought maybe we'd jump on and say good day and see how you go.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think everyone else has had a bit of a shocker of a night, so they've called it early. But yeah, a bit unfortunate. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm enjoying this.
There's 16 cars still out there ripping
It's
around.
not everyone's having a shocker of a night.
Ah. This track's very demanding in a GDP.
Yeah, well, certainly looking that way as we're riding on your roll bar at the moment, but not sounding much like it. You sound...
yeah, with sort of the high downforce that this car runs, it's if you got it online, it's pretty good. It's just really tail happy in the like low speed stuff. Like I'm going through the roller coaster and all of that, it planted, you can flat easy and all that, but coming out of here and sort of through sector 1, it's a bit tail happy on throttle.
As we see you add amounts of left-hand steerage.
Yeah.
There we go. So how's the blackout OPR Acura going tonight?
Yeah, it's going good. I do need to save 0.7 of a litre to make it to the end. Because I decided to over-rev it on the
no
starting grid.
stoppage at all?
Yeah, that's with no stops. So we'll see how we go. Got GT3 traffic now for a couple of laps. So that'll naturally just slow it down and probably use less fuel. And then once I'm through it this time, I think this will probably be the last time I get through these guys. We got about probably the last time. So then I'll be able to see where I'm at fuel wise and
11 minutes of racing to go.
yeah, I might catch a couple towards the end of the race, but I don't think I'll get through the whole GT3 field again.
That's for a bit of excitement for you, having to dodge some turtles.
Yeah, that's one way to put it, yeah. I keep on edge. I always just enjoy driving. I can just keep driving wherever I really wanted to.
Even me on edge enough just watching this from the roll bar camera.
Certainly quite mesmerising watching you just throw it from apex to apex. And
Yeah, I was saying, yeah, this car's pretty planted. I've always liked VIR, even before I actually made it a free track and free content, and updated it. Do miss the old oak tree up the top.
Yeah, we've had our rant about that.
Yeah.
It was a rant indeed. We were just discussing obviously, you know, they can't physically bring it back, but maybe a polystyrene cutout, like the old sponsor boards.
Oh yeah.
Stick one
Just
there
put
on the
green
corner.
wall here or something.
Yep, tree was here. Doesn't even have to be coloured in, just a big white one.
It's polystyrene, so if somebody hits it, it shatters everywhere.
Explodes, yeah.
Yeah.
Or an iRace in terms of it would glitch into the car and then get towed around the track for 1.5 laps, being a big sail. The iRacing, I'm coming up with the content that you want to have on your channel. Thank you to iRacing for the awesome service that they provide us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, please bring us Gen 3 and Pukekohe. Next
Yeah.
build. Next build.
Yep, we're waiting.
Coming start of 2025. Rumours.
Yes.
Yeah, certainly looks like Gen 3 will be out start of 2025 with the second season for iRacing there, so that will be our, no, sorry, the first season for iRacing there, so that will be our summer series. They did mention that they were very close to being able to bring them out this build, but they just weren't quite there, didn't quite have all that data finalised, and they were going to be plugging them in and getting that finished and should be ready for the next build, so looking
I
forward to
think
that.
they're probably just waiting for SuperCars to sort their crap out and
Yeah,
actually
pretty sure.
finalise that.
Well, apparently that's what they were waiting on, and then they finally got all the data that they needed from Supercars, and now they just weren't quite able to input it all and get it up to speed in time for this next build that's about to come out in, well, next week, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm guessing that
Yeah,
I'm hoping they bring out Pukekohe at the same time, and
Yes.
maybe they're going to be scanning Adelaide shortly. I think that is going to be up
Yeah.
there with one of the tracks that I want to race on so badly.
Yeah, I love
You'll never-
Adelaide. I've raced it in R Factor 2,
Yeah.
but that's obviously a modded version. I don't think it's laser scanned, so I'm sure the level of accuracy that iRacing will put into it will be much better and will be a lot of fun to drive around. I do hope while they're at it that they go out and scan the old Grand Prix circuit, but obviously with the barriers not being constructed for that part of the circuit, I don't know that they will be able to go to that level, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've also scanned the bend as well.
Yes,
That's
just
right.
last 2 weeks, yep.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing Sydney Motorsport Park as well, or Eastern Creek, however you want to call it.
Yeah, SMP would be,
SMP.
that would be a good one too.
Well, my opinions on SMP have probably been tainted a little bit by the lockdown racing.
Yes. Yes, there was certainly a number of events that were run there, and a lot of conjecture at the time around that one.
Well, the field's all very spread out at the moment. I'm not seeing a gap anywhere that's under a second. Probably the closest is Jack
That
Hunt.
just recently happened was Jack Hunt's passing on the VIR, so you probably just bring that up as a quick replay.
I have got that there. So down into turn 1. Michael running wide at turn 1. I was about to comment that there appeared to be a significant gap there, and yeah, Michael making that mistake and allowed Jack to walk through. Quinn Wilson is in the pits.
He has. He had a
He's
couple
jumped
of
there.
off-track moments and then jumped there.
Alright, so let's see what exactly happened to Quinn Wilson. Getting passed by Aaron Goodrick. Oh, just losing the rear under brakes, and yeah, once you get it messed up there, it doesn't take a long time to get to the wall. It's come back on, and yeah, just I think broken something in that front right, and it's sort of understeered. Hasn't wanted to turn left after he's damaged that. Yeah.
Fortunate.
That, I think, is the unfortunate thing with the new damage model. As realistic as it is, and we do want it to be as realistic as possible, it's super frustrating when you get those light touches that are just in the right place to break something in the steering or the suspension, and you lose all ability to steer one direction.
we're always searching for things.
Oh no!
Oh no!
That is mammoth. Jack Hintz hard into the wall, tangling with the GT3 car.
Yeah, Paul Blom, of course.
Oh, and Paul's had to jump to the pits as well. Oh, that was huge.
Oh, yeah, I just seen it.
So Jack coming through down the back straight. Oh,
Oh, it looked like net code's actually been a bit of a factor in that one.
I wonder if the chopper there might give us the best view of it. So you can see the closing rate. It goes to the inside. Oh yeah, there was quite a substantial gap between the two cars when Jack's car was certainly being affected by contact. So yeah, that's unfortunate. And probably as well, we often say that a lot of the time when netcode happens, a lot of the time there might have been contact either way, but I think in that case there was enough of a gap there, and on the trajectory they were on, they weren't really heading for contact without that netcode taking place. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, Jack has left the building.
It's yeah, just disappointing. Obviously though, as we've come to the closing rounds of the season, there's one drop round from each of the main events. So one from our heat racing, one from our endurance racing, and one from our sprint series racing. So we'll be picking on the three best races of each of those categories and teaming up the scores and coming up with the total for that. Hence why we didn't have you last week, Stefan.
Yeah.
You'd already maximised your 3 wins in the sprint series racing series.
Yeah, it also just worked out. I was actually busy as well, so it kind of worked out well for me in that fact.
Yep.
But Coda next week's going to be interesting for an enduro.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an interesting track in a GDP through that first, or even GD3 through that first section with the sausage curbs. They are
Always
instant
pick on
death.
sausage curbs. Yep.
Yeah, they are instant death in pretty much any car. So yeah, it could be interesting the first few laps while people kind of go side by side.
They're not so much as sausage curbs as just straight up kitchen knives stuck into the ground. Aren't they?
Pretty much straight death curbs.
Yeah. And tune in next week as we join Stefan and his love of said steak knife corners, and hopefully he doesn't show us just how bad they are.
I'll try not to, but no guarantee. Just to spice it up, you should make it a night race on a track that's not lit.
That's Shane's department. I think he's done the setup for that, and I think out of anything, it may have a chance that it might put some rain down. So that'll be a first for a lot of people to have to deal with as well.
Yeah, that sort of track, because Coda's very much a one-line track, so it's not like Road America where in a bit of rain you can actually go off the braking line and get a bit of grip before you go through the apex. Coda's very much a one-line track through 2/3 of it, so yeah, that'll make it interesting for sure.
Make the old brains engage.
As far as the night racing, there were a couple of tracks that, because
Yes.
I was when I set up the servers, I kept them as close as possible to try and start at the same time that the official races were starting. There were a couple of those that were starting in the night time on unlit tracks, which I opted to take away from that, mainly so that the guys watching this at home can actually see some cars on track, because if you don't have lit tracks and you rely purely on headlights, you really can't see much on the street, or it doesn't look very good. So
That's right.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like turning into foliage cam, eh?
correct. So Jason Bigby has had a little bit of a moment out there on lap 17. So what's he done here? Oh, just looked a little bit unstable as he got into that section and just grabbing the curb on the way into Oak Tree and looping it and getting back on and continuing with his race.
Yeah,
He
if I
was
can go for the
trying
fastest lap here.
his best impression of D1NZ for a minute. Like to hear Stefan's going to put a challenge down and go for the fastest lap this time around.
Having a crack. I think I'm going to get booked here by Lee. Unfortunately, yeah, I am. Oh no, Lee let me have it.
Nice.
Oh nah, too much in this
doesn't
here.
off
Scrub the
track.
tyres.
Oh, you
Close.
take the checkered
10
flag.
off.
Double win tonight for you, Stefan. Well done.
Cheers, man. Cheers, guys.
Awesome. Well done.
I
There
think
we
that's
go.
the fifth race this week I've seen you in.
Yeah, been a busy week. Busy few weeks, actually.
Yeah, certainly putting in the wheel time as we caught you last week saying you're going to be doing a few more V8 racing with because you've got some team stuff coming up soon. Obviously some Scop stuff and obviously Select stuff and some other events and that. So yeah, it was really cool to watch you go and cut some laps on Tuesday night for that endurance round there. And yeah, well done again on tonight's win here, the HPR MRP series.
Cheers, guys. And yeah, it's kind of good to be back in the supercar. And yeah, hopefully I can find a little bit more pace to where I sort of want to be from my teammates and stuff. But it's all about practice, so we'll see how it goes for the Enduro Cup and go from there, really.
Awesome.
So Aaron Goodrick's brought it home P2 from Michael van der Haas rounding out the podium. Darren Lobb just coming in towards the end of his final lap now, and he is going to take checkered flag and P1 for GT3 class.
Yeah.
Pretty comfortable gap back to Nico Cordia in the end as well after that very spicy battle that we had going on in the first part of the race. So Nico coming through. It's showing 13 seconds on the timing tower, but that doesn't look like 13 seconds to me. But anyway, certainly a way back.
You know what I can see? Have a look at third spot.
Oh, Dylan Petch is out of fuel, getting the push from Leith Swinney.
Yeah, Leith had has already classified his finishing position, so not going to make any more adjustments to that for him, but doing a great hand on getting Dylan up there towards the line. Great bit of sportsmanship.
Yeah, very cool. I'm just looking back at the data to try and determine which way around Dylan and Nico were at the commencement of the final lap. Looks like Nico was already ahead of Dylan at the start of the final lap, so this hasn't cost him P2. Certainly not seen any recent data of Nico
I'd laugh if Leith turned him just
getting the
before
pass.
finishing.
That would be brutal.
Or gave him like bumped him too many times and gave him like a 17x or something. Finish with a post-race penalty, eh?
Well, he's got him there. Dylan rounding out the podium, P3 and GT3.
Well done. Right, we've got
Look, I was
Mr.
a comment.
Goodrick up in here in the waiting room as well. But sorry, Corey, for talking over. You go.
So yeah, I was just looking just on Facebook in the comments, and I don't know if you know this person, Shane, Brendan Slingsby, maybe.
Yep.
Shane
Hi,
White,
Brendan.
would you marry me? Kiss, kiss, hug, hug, kiss, kiss.
Wow. Some fans, eh?
Hey, fag, go to bed.
There we go. But we've got Mr. Goodrick here. I've dragged him in to hear some person from Facebook flirting with Shane.
How's it going, boys?
Good. We're happy. How was your eve?
Yeah, not too bad. First race was full of a couple of mistakes, unfortunately, but the second one was not too bad. I've just, got a bet in the open after that little early tussle, and I don't know if you saw my pass. That may have involved a whole lot of grass on 4 cars at once, at all on the stream, but that was probably the highlight of the race.
Lie.
You didn't manage to get past 4 cars on the grass, did you, mate?
Oh, there was a bit of asphalt when I went to start to go left, and I was like, oh, there's no asphalt anymore, and just kept committed.
With the rooster tail that your thing was kicking up behind, I think you found some asphalt under the grass.
Yeah, nah, she was quick out there. I was like, this is either going to be a win it or bin it situation, and it came out in a second, so it wasn't all bad.
It was caught live too.
Was it nice? Yeah, I was kind of like, oh, I feel a bit shit for doing that, but I was like, the track was literally completely blocked. I was like, oh well, let's see if we can make this work down the left-hand side.
Well, it was not that long ago that you guys were caught out with getting caught behind a couple of 2 widers or 3 widers in the GT3 coming into a breaking point turn as well. So you probably had some cold flashbacks and went, bugger this, I'm going to get in front of it before that happens.
Yeah, no, it was probably a little couple of memories of that freaking did pop up, but I was just like, nah, full commit. I think I like went across to the asphalt and I was like, this is a bit stupid, and like buttoned for a second, then I just fucking jammed it back to the floor.
Yep.
But nah,
Yes.
it was that was a good race. It was a pretty challenging track, but super cool through the middle section with the GTP with all the aero. You know what I mean? You do 250 odd round some of those corners, and just it was just stuck to the road like it freaking no tomorrow.
Nice. Yeah, we had the pleasure of having a few onboards and a bit of a chat there with Stefan earlier while he was cutting around some laps, watching from his roll bar camera. And yeah, the TTP car certainly manages to conquer VIR quite comfortably.
It's certainly real rapid, and obviously congratulations to Stefan, just a class on his own again. Obviously, he is super quick in these things, so I didn't stand a chance against that.
I think next season we'll just have to make sure no one else enters in the same car type or something. We'll just put some sandbag penalties on them.
Yeah, I reckon we power limit it or something like that.
That's
Break just.
Very good. All right, Aaron. Anyone you want to have a quick shout out to, mate? It was
nothing too crazy. Just the MRX crew, obviously, Nick at MRX and Rosetown Motor Group.
Nice stuff. Thank you, matey. We'll
Awesome.
take you back up in there if you wish, or you can depart, and we'll see you next week for the final round of the HPR MRP series.
Awesome. Cheers, boys. Thank you.
And what have we got happening here? We've got our race winner, Darren Lobb. He's come to join us for a quick how you going?
Hello, boys. What's going on?
Well done, Mr. Lobb.
Twice in a week's always nice.
Yeah, great. Managed to finally get past the intensity of the battle that was happening at the beginning of the race there with Dylan.
It was pretty good, man. He went good. The Porsche surprised me how quick it was this week. I've just assumed that the Ferrari's the best car at every kind of track and just not bothered looking at anything. And so he was driving it well though. He was making mistakes, but the car's just quick enough in the right places, like particularly over the curbs. So that like little tight Mickey Mouse section coming onto not the back straight, the straight one, the one with the curves in it.
Yes.
The Porsche just rides the curb so nicely there, and I was kind of 3/4 throttled, like catching slides. But I think the Ferrari's better on its tires, because it's a little bit loose like that. You can get it turned later in the race. So anyway, getting past is one thing, but then when you're out front and you kind of manage to break the draft a little bit, and then the Ferrari's just so bloody good towards the end of the race. But it was great fun, and it's just so different to racing close like that in the supercars, where you basically just trying not to crash and trying not to lock up and trying not to get oversteer. When the GT3s, you just balls to the walls like quali laps every lap. So it's really nice when you're that close to someone.
Yeah.
The draft doesn't work
You
as
can
much
keep
as
going that as
the
well.
supercars. Yeah, so it was good, fun racing. We came together, and I went back and had a look at it, and it was really weird. It was like as the cars kind of came together, they just didn't turn, and we both went straight. It would have been silly if we had dropped back. We would have looked like clowns, but made for good racing in that first race. I thought the second race was going to be really interesting when I got out to the front, because I think the Porsche was a slightly better car, and when they were in the draft, it just looked like they were going to ride all over me. And then I suspect they all got caught up fighting with themselves, and that was that.
Yeah, no, it was certainly great watching, and yeah, it was funny how you make that comparison between the two cars. Obviously the different cars have different capabilities at different tracks, and so maybe you'll put a bit of research into moving forward on what the best car is.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's something it's so difficult from a rules perspective. I was actually thinking about it yesterday, and like as a rule suggestion for next season, basically put down that you can't drive the same car more than twice, which forces people to pick and choose cars here and there. It's probably a nightmare to police, but it's the nice thing with the GD3 class is jumping the different cars and seeing where they are quick and where they're not quick.
Yeah, we've been there and we have policed it in the past, and there's not too many that if we put that rule in place that change it anyway. And I think it's probably more of a momentary lapse of concentration. They select a
Yeah.
different rather than trying to.
I think you've misunderstood what Darren said there, Doug.
Yes.
So you're talking about one car per season. Darren's saying restrict them to only using the same car twice. So they
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to use
yeah.
a multitude of different cars through the season.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, there we go.
which basically forces you to almost use, well, at least half the cars through the course of the season.
Wow.
And I'd suspect most guys probably have half cars, or at least half the cars. But anyway, I mean, that's just a suggestion. It's difficult for me to kind of make suggestions where you're kind of just running at the front, and I've got VRS in most of the cars, so you can just kind of jump in and hop between them. But it certainly makes it more challenging, and it will certainly make the race more interesting because the different cars are certainly quick in certain places. And it's weird the way iRacing is with the GD3s at the moment. There's always one car that's just that little bit ahead, but then everybody else is even. So it might just balance things out a little bit and make some really interesting racing. But anyway, someone's got to police it then.
Oh, do you like that? Do you like that as a suggestion, or we'll see if that might be something we can put forward. We have to do a bit of homework on the boys and see what cars they may or may not own. But
yeah, exactly. It might be worth putting a poll up and seeing. But yeah, anyway,
yeah,
it was good fun racing.
Well done. Anyone you want to have a quick shout out? Thank you too.
Nah, just Barry Manon from MRP, sponsor of this series, and just good all around bloke helping me with my rig, and then you guys, thanks for talking shit twice a week, every week. It's been good. It's been a good season.
Nice stuff. Cheers, Daz.
Ciao, mates.
And what we'll do is we'll bring in our final two people there. We've got Nico Cordia and Dylan Petch there, our second and third place getters for the last race of the eve. How are we, lads?
Yeah, good, thanks. a free P2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a quick one to you there, Nico. You obviously had a quite a different finishing there to tonight's race. You're well and truly in the thick of a lot more of the battles in the second race, and you were able to capitalise and keep it there up there on second place. I'm not too sure whether that was because Dylan had run out of fuel and allowed you to get by, but we did see that we won there. Dill, that you were getting a hand across the line at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like it was a free pass, unfortunately, because I come around the corner and I tell my teammate Adam, I'm like, dude, Dylan had a moment. I'm right up against him, and then I'm like, wait, this gap just keeps on closing, and I'm like, dude, I just passed him, and he's like, oh, nice, sweet, and I'm like, Dylan, what happened? And he's like, fuel, mate, fuel.
Yeah, bugger.
Yeah, I've decided this is actually the second race this season Leith's had to push me over the line, so I've decided for next Christmas I think he'll be getting a tow rope or a bumper in his Christmas stocking.
Get him one of those big red nose cones, the big red nose that you used to be able to put on the front of the cars. You can strap it on there, mate. For next time you need to give me a hand.
Yeah, he just needed to be a little bit closer because I reckon if he was a little bit closer, he would have been able to push me up to P2. But he'd finished the race obviously because the GDP had overtaken him.
Yeah. Yeah, we were wondering there towards the end if he bumped you enough times and managed to get you a drive-through penalty, whether that would have superseded the the checkered flagging position that he'd
Yeah.
already had already sustained. So
It'd be a bit of a weird one, but no, me and Leith, we've got this pushing down to a fine art now, so she's all strictly 0x's. There'll be no risk of a
oh,
penalty.
fantastic. Dylan, you and Darren obviously heat one and continued there for a good part of the second race. Nose to tail, door to door, changing position a couple of times, side by side action. Great racing. Darren loved it. How were you feeling about it?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was good to have a bit of pace. Unfortunately, this season, I didn't really know if I'd be able to do it. Just running a bit short on time, so I haven't been able to put too much work into any of the tracks. But I always love coming back to this track, so it's good to have some
Yeah.
pace and battle up the front.
Certainly good viewing for us, and getting to watch some pretty hairy moments unfold on track. I think there was one moment there. You might have had a bit of a rubbings racing on the rear corner from Darren going through turn one, and looked like it might have just been starting to get the slide on. But I think Darren realised that you were very much trying to shut that door, so he backed right out of that one.
Yeah, there was a couple ones there, and there's the one where he tried to get around the outside. I don't know what happened, whether it was there's a net code or whatever, but I was full lock trying to get the other way, and I couldn't get off him, and we both sort of slid off the track. But luckily we had enough gap to maintain P1 and 2.
He made a comment on that one as well. He said it was just a very weird one. He said it was like you guys, well, for what it felt like for him was your wheels had interlocked or something, and there was just no turn happening on the car.
Yeah, I think it was just where he was on the door or on that rear door that my car was trying to pivot around the front, and I had so much lock on that the thing still wanted to go straight, and in the end we both ended up off the track.
Yeah. Oh, God. No, it was awesome. Awesome seeing you guys out there giving it a red hot go, and we certainly loved commentating on it. Do you reckon you'll be able to make an appearance for the final round next Thursday?
Yeah, should be able to. I'm actually racing next weekend in a real car, so there might be a few late nights trying to get that up and running. But I will definitely try and make it.
Ah, very good. So, well, give us a quick 411 on what that is, what car, and whereabouts you're going to be racing.
Just on a club day down here at Ruapuna, and my Formula Ford. And unfortunately, with working full time, I don't get a lot of testing, so this happens to fall on a weekend, so it works out quite well. Generally, the test days are on a Friday, so just to get my eye in before the summer of racing.
Ah, very good. Oh, it's always good. So good to you're a Christchurch local then.
Yeah, yep, Christchurch local.
Oh, so we always certainly enjoy them. So I wish you all the best with that for next weekend at Ruapuna, mate, and have some fun out there with the Formula Ford.
No, cheers. Definitely this week's racing, side by side and pushing on a wee bit will have helped.
Yeah, as it gets the old gets things warmed up and the good juices flowing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nothing better
best
than
of luck, man.
yeah, hopefully having a couple of podiums here, we'll be able to transition into a podium over there in real life. We'll have to make sure we try and get your SuperCars NZ sticker you can slap on your helmet or on the side of your car for the future as well.
I reckon it would look good somewhere on the car.
Nice stuff. We'll see. We might even be able to make that happen before the weekend if you're lucky. I'll have a chat to our man Leon here in Christchurch, and we might be able to get something delivered to your workplace before the weekend.
Yeah, no, all good. Cheers, guys.
Awesome, Dills. Have a great one, mate. And Nico, once again, mate, you want to shout outs?
Yeah, just shout out to everyone, especially here in the broadcasting team and SuperCars and NZ. It's great what you guys put on, and watching back the streams. It's really great. So thanks to you guys, and just thanks to my teammate Adam. He had a great round race too. So he did a massive race for him, P6. I think it's the second best he's had this season, so that's great for him. And having him back on the track with me is great. This time around in his favorite car, the BMW. But yeah, shout out to all of those, and to you guys up here in the comms box.
Awesome. Very much appreciate that, lads. We'll get rid of you and we'll round up tonight. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Alright, so that was round 11 MRP HPR series. here at Virginia International Raceway. So if you're in the market for any new sim gear, hit up Barry at MRP and he will get you sorted. And if you're not racing yet, but you might be keen to get racing, get a sim. Get to MRP, get some gear. Might be able to pick a chassis up from MRX, our Racework sponsor this week. And if you're in the market for just general car parts or other little merchandise type things, you can head down to Napa as well and pick up what you need down there. They sponsor the broadcast lounge, support us here, give us cool things to give away. So cheers to Napa for that support, and cheers to everyone at home for tuning in and watching tonight, as we always get a nice little audience tuning in. So thanks to everybody that tunes in on the regular, and thanks to Doug and Corey for putting up with me tonight.
Get a sim.
Thank you,
Get a
Shane.
sim. Alright,
Yeah.
we will end it there, and we will see you all next week for some more racing. V8s on Tuesday and more HPR on Thursday with the final round at Coda.